Okay, so as you can see, I'm Homera, your host today. I am working as operations manager at EMP USA. I'll quickly introduce you all to our speakers of today's follow-up session, Mr. Imran Ahmad Khan and Mr. Danish Nadeem Saab. Mr. Imran Ahmad Khan is the Director of International Marketing at Eurasia Institute in Germany. And Mr. Danish Nadeem Saab is a Senior Consultant and Data Scientist at ITOS in Netherlands. I will now request Mr. Danish Saab to proceed with the session. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Omera, and welcome everyone again in our third session today. So let me pull up the screen. We are going to start with our today's session. If you could see my screen now.
Yes, it's
All right.
visible.
Great. So in today's session, it is the third session. From the following up, we have already talked about education opportunities in Germany. We had a lot of questions about education opportunities in other countries. And today's session, we are talking about employment opportunities in Europe. We are specifically going to focus on Germany and the Netherlands because where we are at the moment, me in Netherlands, Imran is in Germany. So we can give you a bit more detail into what are the possibilities here and how and what kind of opportunities you can avail here. And then in the follow-up session, we will also talk about research and PhD opportunities, especially for those who are interested in research, who would like to build up their career in academics. It's a slightly different model that we are used to. So I think that would be another interesting session. So stay tuned for that. Employment opportunities in Europe is something which I want to really make people aware that, especially for those who are interested in technical fields or management fields or in any of the professional fields, they have a good opportunities to look for jobs in Europe. In today's session, we are trying to guide you through, make you aware of what are the opportunities here and how you could apply for that and how you could avail the possibility to get a visa here. First of all, the key point that we have to understand is there are top 10 professions which we have kind of shortlisted. Of course, it is not an exhaustive list. You could also look for other opportunities which are also possible, but these are the professions which are in high demand here. These are in particularly ranked orders. Of course, IT professionals are something which is becoming more and more need because of the situation at the moment. You can know after the COVID, there has been a lot of disruptions happening, and then there has been a lot of demand for IT professionals in also looking for different ways of doing digital transformations and so on. So you could see there are a list of professions here which are in high demand. Of course, we can go and ask if you have any specific questions, we can try to answer that. On the right side, you see a list of websites where you could also search for jobs in Europe and also try to see if anything which is relevant to you. If you find a job, what are the companies, and then what are the procedures for applying. So I hope by the end of today's session, you will have some kind of a broader view on what are the possibilities in Europe, what kind of jobs which are very interesting, and then how to apply for that. Moving forward, we have identified 7 key countries in Europe, which we think are very much a place where you could apply for professional jobs. These are the 7 top countries. Of course, it's not again a complete list. We have intentionally skipped other countries. But the point is just to give you an idea that there are a lot of countries here where you could apply for jobs related to your profession. And also, you can find out, especially if you are interested in internship or if you want to come for a kind of a company exchange programs. So there are a lot of various possibilities here. We have tried to focus in today's talk on Germany and the Netherlands, because we want to give you a bit more insight of what the types of visas are, how we can use EU Blue Card scheme, and then how you can apply for different professions. So again, it's a recap slide. We have already extensively talked about Blue Card scheme. Blue Card is basically Europe-wide. It is applicable to all of the European countries. EU countries, except for Denmark, Ireland, and United Kingdom, where there is a scheme to invite highly qualified professionals to the Europe. There are certain ways, there are certain criteria for that. If you meet those criteria, if you are professionally qualified, if you have a university degree, you have some work experience, you are eligible to apply for a EU Blue Card, which means that you can come over to Europe, you can start working here, and then also you can invite of your family members. And I think it's a very interesting scheme. You should definitely look into it, and we can also talk a bit more about what are the benefits. Again, it's a review where we already talked about the Blue Card scheme has a quite a useful, not only for you, but also for the family members, because for them, it's also important that they can come over, they can also already start working. At the same time, there is no language requirement. Blue Card is valid for all of the European countries who have signed to this scheme. So for example, if someone is coming to Germany, their spouse are normally required to learn the language. But if someone is coming with a Blue Card, then their partner is exempted from learning the language. That is very interesting, because then someone can already come over, and also from the start, they can start working here, which is interesting for people who want to come and move with their families. We will also talk about permanent residence, which is like after you have lived for 5 years in any of the European countries, you can apply for permanent residency, which means you are almost equivalent to the citizens here. And after that, if you apply for a citizenship, there is a language requirement for that. And once you fulfill that requirement, you basically become a European citizen, meaning that you change your passport to a European passport. And then you can also just like live and work here independent of any kind of work requirements, visa requirements. So in today's talk, I want to specifically mention Netherlands, because where I am, I can say a bit more about it, and then follow up to that. Imran will say more in detail about Germany. So Netherlands is the northwestern part of the Europe. You could see in the map, and you could definitely see it's a very small country. It's a small country, but it has a very high standard of living. It's quite safe, relatively very safe as compared to the South Asian countries. The unemployment rate is really low here, which means that there are a good workforce which is in employment, they are working. So that also indicates a little bit of the prosperity of the country. I will in the next slide show you how the COVID has impacted this unemployment rate. But then in general, Netherlands is quite a good country to look for opportunities, because the unemployment rate is really low. Tax benefits, it's very specific to the Netherlands. Tax benefits means there is a ruling called 30% ruling, which means the people who are coming from outside Europe with professional qualification, they are exempted to be taxed on 30% of their salary, which means they are only taxed on the 70% of their net, on the brute salary, which means it's very interesting that at the end of the day, your take-home salary is higher than the others in your colleague network. So that is another interesting scheme which is being promoted by the Dutch government. And also it is also applicable for up to 5 years. So once you come here from the day one, you start to get salary with 30% of your salary is tax-free. And it's the country where there is a very high work-life balance. So a lot of people here are working 9 to 5 and then also 5 days a week, but they also have a good opportunity to spend time with their families, to do some extracurricular activities. In fact, I came to know that it is one of the countries where work-life balance is quite high. Before that, we also, as I said, we will talk about the unemployment rate here. If you see in the bar here, you could see that it is normally stable here. 3.5% has been the unemployment rate. But since January 2020 onwards, you could see there has been an increase up until June, July, and now. So unemployment has increased because of definitely COVID situation. But at the same time, you can still see that there is still quite low because of still new opportunities are opening, and because of the disruption, new possibilities are coming up. So the market is gaining back. So I received a lot of questions in the previous session that what are the situations after the COVID situation? And I researched about it, and I came to know that the market is now opening and there are new vacancies coming up. So definitely it's also a good time for all of you who are interested to apply for positions here. On the right bottom side, you see these are the top employment sectors where you could apply and see there are possibilities for job, especially ICT, which is information technology, life sciences and healthcare, which has also came quite high in terms of demands because of the COVID situation. Uh, Traditionally, transportation and logistics has also been quite a demanding field in the Netherlands because of the Rotterdam is one of the largest European port city. So that's why a lot of logistics and supply chain activities are going on there. Agriculture, food, because it's a country where a lot of agriculture products are being made. It's a highly automated, very well advanced system here. So there is a lot of possibility in agriculture domain, a creative industry, media, culture, and all these kind of things where you can grow up yourself. Consumer goods, of course, industrial engineering. So you can follow there. There's a list of different sectors where you could see there are possibilities for new jobs. Uh, as I said, Netherlands is a country where there is a good balance of work and life. You can see it's almost the topmost country in the Europe to have a work-life balance, which means that people can actually save time for their family and for their other activities. And as compared to other countries where you have a lot of pressure of work, Netherlands provides an opportunity to really focus more than work and also spend time in other curricular activities. It would be interesting to know that even 50% of the population, working population, are working part-time, which means that there's a high possibility of people working more than one jobs in a part-time and also working from home. So it is one of the very interesting country in Europe to provide this kind of opportunities. I can also mention you the types of work visa which are available for the Netherlands. EU Blue Card, which I have already talked in the previous session, and if you have questions, please feel free to ask after the session. And then, of course, we can also try to answer what are the criteria that you have to follow. What I would like to emphasize today in today's talk is highly skilled migrants visa, which is about people who have certain professional qualification or who have graduated from European universities, some of the top universities, or who have graduated from the Netherlands. What are the possibilities for them? And of course, there are other visa types like post-study visa. If you have studied in Europe for over a period of time, you are eligible to apply for a job search visa in Netherlands. It's valid for 1 year. And then, of course, there are other visa types like freelancers, people who are working on their own, and business entrepreneurs, people who have some capital and would like to start their own businesses. So there are all different sort of visa types which are available. And I think these are the opportunities that you can look into. But today's talk, we are just focusing on highly skilled permit. Highly skilled permit in Dutch, it is called Kennis Migrant visa. And Kennis Migrant visa, if you compare it with the British one, for example, highly skilled migration program, it is similar to that. The idea is that the Dutch government wants to invite professionals who have certain work experiences or who have certain qualification, which is in shortage in the country. So these kind of people can actually apply for a highly skilled migration program. And within this program, there are certain benefits and there are certain conditions. I'm going to walk through some of the key points. So what you need is basically you need an employment contract, which should be at least of 4 months. So it should be more than 90 days, which is the minimum criteria for applying for any sort of Kennis migrant visa, knowledge migrant visa. Then there is a certain salary threshold. The government requires that the people who come to Europe from outside should have certain salary paid by the employer. You can see in the bottom right side, I have listed these salaries which are expected from people who are coming from outside the Europe. Of course, there is also an age criteria on top of that. So someone who is younger than 30 years of age has a less requirement. So if you see someone who is less than 30 years is actually required to have 3,381 euros gross per month, which means before taxes. So this is the monthly salary requirement if you are under 30 years of age. So whenever you are applying for a job, you get a job, you have to negotiate that your minimum salary should be at least this much amount so as to be eligible for highly skilled migration program. So this is what you have to keep in mind. If you are above 30 years of age, there is a different salary requirement, which is 4,612. That means if you get a job contract with a Dutch employer, you have to make sure that your employer is recognized in the immigration system here. And at the same time, they are giving you at least this month of gross salary. And then, of course, there are certain exemptions to people who are coming here for research, for lecturership, for more of an academic profile, working for PhD. These people are, because they are scientific researchers, they contribute to the knowledge economy. They are exempted from this salary criteria, and that's why next session is quite interesting, because in that case, you don't have to fulfill those salary requirements. But if you get a contract as a researcher, as a PhD, or as a lecturer, you are eligible to come here and be eligible to apply for knowledge migrant. From there on, I think Imran can take over and speak about Germany.
Myself mute. Once again, thank you very much, Danish, for the initial introduction and also the detailed information about the Netherlands. And I welcome everyone again in today's third follow-up session. And I would like to thank AMP also for organizing this in order to contribute in the society, as well as to assist people who are seeking for assistance or knowledge or help. In my part of this presentation today, first of all, let me share my screen. Yes, I hope it is visible.
Yes.
So I would like to talk about, particularly about Germany. As Danish has covered initially, overall interesting countries where to come for or look for jobs, for settlement, which countries are attractive because they're open for skilled migration. And then Danish has also given a bit detail about the Netherlands, the opportunities over there. Being in Germany, I would like to talk about Germany. First of all, what are the different categories of visas you can apply for? Definitely the first one is the EU Blue Card or job visa. Second option, which is very interesting for people from abroad, is job seekers visa. Post-study work visa, which we have already covered in our previous sessions. There is a visa called freelancers visa. I'll give some detail about it, as well as business entrepreneurship visa as well. The post-study work visa, as we have already covered this in our education in Germany, education in Europe session, I will not go into detail, but one of the categories is freelancers visa, those who have completed their education in Europe, in Germany in particular, and they feel that they can start their own business. They can be freelancers. They are invited to apply for freelancers visa. I know many people who are very successful after completion of their study in Germany. They have started their companies or started working as freelancers. So this is also one of the visa category which those who came here for higher education can also go or opt for. In today's session, I will definitely not go into business entrepreneurship visa, because we are planning to have a detailed, complete section or session about business immigration, business entrepreneurship immigration, and such type of categories that people who would like to invest in Europe, invest in Germany, they can also have a chance or opportunity to come here with their family and get settled, not only themselves, but also their businesses. So I would start about general information migration to Germany. On the right side, I have given very important links to the different websites. Please, once we share these slides later on, please go to the links and you will find a lot of information, very simplified information. What are the steps involved if someone is interested to come for look for job, come to Germany and get settled. So all of these websites are very important. First category I would look at is the job visa or EU Blue Card. Important is, I know a lot of participants today with us, then they have heard about Blue Card. They have heard about their opportunities to come to Germany for working. They know that Germany has a very strong economy, and Germany is looking for skilled immigrants. And even from January 2020, Germany has passed a new legislation that even for all type of work, all type of categories, all type of businesses, German companies are allowed to invite people from abroad, not only from Europe, but also from abroad, which makes Germany very interesting, because Germany is one of the countries have very simplified process of immigration. Okay, so in terms of EU Blue Card or job visa, there are different steps, and it's very systematic. First of all, this link that I have given, you can go online, check what are your chances according to your background, according to your area and field. What are your chances of getting a job in Germany? Okay, and you will see, because at the moment Germany is definitely looking for engineers, doctors, also people in finance and banking, nursing, and skilled migration in jobs like vocational area. So you will find the list of different professions which are highly in demand, as well as you can check or you see if you are the one who can get a job, if you will check your chances through this link. Next step would be definitely to have your educational or academic documents recognized, or see the equivalency. If the degree, the diploma that you have received in your wherever you are from, if it is comparable or equivalent to German education. This is very important step, because if your education is not recognized in Germany, it is highly likely that you would not be able to apply and get for a job. So the second step would be, please, you can go through the information and the website in a database given. I have mentioned the link here for the recognition of your your previous education from your home country. In one of the slides previously, we have mentioned how to look for a job. There are different ways. Even in the previous slide I have given, you will see there are lots of job opportunities given on the Ministry of Finance in Germany. And then apart from this, you have different portals like Stepstones, like Monster, like LinkedIn, like there are lots of portals available where you can look for a job. But officially from the German government, there is also a database given where you can see in which area jobs are given, in which city, which company, and which would make your efforts a little easier to look for a job. Okay. Next step is definitely writing an application. I think an application involves putting your CV, a cover letter. On the standards of Germany are definitely to have a cover letter, then your CV with a photograph of you, your academic documents, and if you could already have the recognition of your education according to the German system with it. Okay, this would make the employers, easy to invite you for an interview. Okay. This is how you will write your application and then apply for a job. Applying for a job is not that complicated. You need to spend some time online, go through the links. You have maybe your own links in Germany through LinkedIn, or there are different portals. It is not difficult to find a job, okay? The difficulty part is actually to check, first of all, check your recognition of your documents and convince the employer. Finding a job is not difficult at all. So this was the first category about which falls under EU Blue Card. And it is easy for those, especially who are already living in Europe. People who don't need visa to come to Germany. It is easy for them to be here and even meet the employer, look for a job. Being in Germany, being in Europe will definitely increase your chances of getting a job. That's why the second category, which is called job seeker visa, enables people, especially people from, there are different countries having different criteria. Also, Germany has a category of visa called job seeker visa. Okay. And this allows you to come to Germany to look for a job, which definitely increase your chances. And being in Germany, getting to know the culture, a bit of German language, and then you can personally meet the companies and employers, and it would give a different impression and increase the chances of getting a job. That's why this visa category is very important. I know a lot of people are applying every year for job seeker visa. And this is one of the very fastest way of getting immigration in Germany. Okay, if you are confident that you have enough experience in your field and your field is highly in demand, I would definitely recommend to go for job seeker visa and come to Germany. Okay, that they are very basic, a few requirements. Usually it should be 16 years of education. And if you have at least 6 months or more, we recommend to have 1 to 2 years of experience. 6 years, 6 months of more experience, you are eligible to apply for this type of visa category. Okay, getting a job would help you if you have around 2 years of work experience. If you speak good English, yeah, and it is one of the requirements. Otherwise, they would ask you to go for a certification like IELTS or TOEFL. You would spend again time to improve your English language. German language skills are not required to apply for a job seeker visa. But in past, my experience is I met a lot of people came to Germany on job seekers visa. The main or only one difficulty that they face is the German language. So what they always tell, it is difficult to expand the search, because not all the companies, not all the sectors accept people speaks only English language. Okay, so if you have some time, I would highly encourage you to have some basics of German language, at least A2 or B1 level of German language, before coming to Germany on job seeker visa. Because the duration of job seeker visa is only 6 months. They will give you 6 months time to come to Germany to look for a job. But if after coming in Germany, you will find out it is important to learn German language to, increase your opportunities and chances. I think it is too late. So why not, before coming to Germany, spend some time and have at least basics of German language with you, because once you are here, you again have some time to improve your German language also. So German language is definitely one of the aspects you should look at. The sectors like IT and maybe banking would be easy to get in if you don't speak or don't know German language. All other sectors, it is one of the requirements that you should speak German language. Okay, so prepare yourself well in advance. You have the information and knowledge now. Spend some time in your home country, go online and take part in different types of German language courses offered. This is part of the preparation to come to Germany on job seekers visa. Okay. One of the requirement is that as you are coming to Germany only for 6 months to look for a job, you should have enough funds with you to survive in Germany for 6 months. A confirmation of accommodation booking is also required. Okay. Once again, this is one of the easiest way to get immigration in Germany without going through 3, 4, 6 years of education in Germany. If you are already a working professional, if you already have done at least bachelor's degree, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself, look for a job, start learning German language, because you are allowed to apply for this type of visa. As Germany is in high demand for international employment. This would be, one of the chance for all of you to come and get immigration, get work permit, get blue card, work here, and very handsome money. Okay. Once again, permanent residence. This is one of the recap slide we have done previously. There are two ways how to get permanent residentship. One way is if you have studied in Germany, the graduation from German university, either after bachelor's or master's, you get 3 or 2 years of time to apply and get permanent residency. Other way around is if you are coming on work visa or job seeker visa, and you have found a job and then applied for a blue card. So the time is even shorter. Once you have worked at least around 3 years, you are now eligible to apply for blue card, in some cases even after 1 year and 9 months, because you need to fulfill the requirement of minimum German language, which is required to apply for residence permit in Germany, which is B1. And once you are in Germany, it would be easy for you to improve your German language skills, because you have the environment, you have the people around you. You will get engage yourself somehow every day with German language. Yes, some information. Once again, a bit of recap knowledge for blue card specific to Germany. Okay, there are two types of categories. One is in the shortage of employment, and one is the regular category. You need minimum either 55,000 gross salary a year or 43,000 gross salary in 1 year. This is a minimum requirement to be eligible to apply for EU blue card for Germany. Okay, and the interesting fact is that most of the blue cards are given by Germany. The fact behind this is because Germany is, I mean, a strong economy, huge opportunities for employment, but the population is aging, more old people than young. They need young people to come in, move in, and support the economy. That's why the new legislation they have passed in January 2020, that they're open for all type of industry to invite international people to come here, work in the companies, and get settlement. So about 85% of the blue cards overall is given only by Germany itself. Another interesting fact that I wanted to show is you will see on the timeline and see that percentage of different nationalities who have applied and got EU blue card. Once again, it's a recap slide, but you would see that the biggest chunk is from India, then it comes from China, Russia, Ukraine, and Syria. Why Syria? Because uh, in past, Germany has allowed the Syrian and Iraqi immigrants to come in, move in. So they came here and they learned the German language, and they were given the opportunity to be part of the economy and given the jobs. So India has still the biggest chunk, the most people applying and becoming EU blue card is from India. Not only through job visa or job seeker visa, but also it includes those who came to Germany for their higher education. Once they are done with education, they applied for EU blue card and they got it. Okay. So from my side, that's all for today, because I have given you the detail. Once again, I will do a small recap, because this slide is very important, where I have mentioned that it is one of the most easiest country to get the immigration. Okay, they are very simplified process. Please go through these links that is given on the slide. First of all, check your chances if you are able to get jobs according to your background, according to your experience, according to the availability of job. Get your qualification recognized, and then finding a job is not difficult in Germany at all. Okay, you just need to follow the format of application, your cover letter, the CV with the photograph, and all documents which are available, especially the academic documents and references and job experiences. Okay. Last but not least, which is very important, which is Q&A session. And I can see that a lot of people have already started writing questions in the chat box or question and answer box. I will hand this over now to Ms. Humera. Please take it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I truly appreciate your time and effort in guiding our audience. I'll just quickly go through the questions that are open in our Q&A section, and I request you all, if you have queries, kindly or raise your questions through our Q&A section, or you can raise your hands through the Zoom raise Zoom raise hand option. So I'll just allow you to interact with our speakers. So the first question I'll take is from Sadatullah Sharif. He's asking kindly tell me the difference between blue card and job seeker visa of Germany.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sadatullah. Job seeker visa is just a category of visa that you can apply and come to Germany in order to look for a job. Once you have a job, only then you can apply for a blue card. Okay. Blue card is a status that you enjoy, and job seekers visa is a type or category of visa which enables you to come to Germany, stay here for 6 months to look for a job. This is the difference.
All right. So next question is from Arshad Ali. I have more than 10 years of experience in human resources in one of the Mexican manufacturing companies in India. Is there any option for human resource professional with MBA degree in EU countries? If yes, please suggest.
Yes, definitely there is a huge demand, as you know, wherever it depends on the industry, it depends on the economy. If you see that in one of the particular country or overall in Europe, it's a huge industry here, industry need employees and workers, and which is related something somehow related to human resource, yeah, or development of the human resource. If you have good experience, which you're mentioning here in 10 years of work experience, I would highly or definitely recommend you to explore this opportunity. If you are looking at Germany, it is very important to look at or somehow gain some German language knowledge and then look for a job. It is definitely possible to move to Germany, get a job, and come here and work according to your profession, whatever you have done previously.
All right, thank you. So I can see that there is this question asked from Arfat Khan. Is there any job for BCA fresher?
Sorry, repeat again. Job for?
Is there any job for BCA fresher? BCA is Bachelor's in Computer Applications.
Personally, I mentioned that you should have considered at least 2 years of work experience. Okay, but again, if you are very good, at least 6 months of job or work experience is required to apply for a job seekers visa. Okay, so minimum 6 months of experience is must.
So, so since I see that a lot of people have raised their hands, I'll just allow a few people to talk to you also so that their queries are answered. So I'll just allow Faisal Majid to talk. Kindly unmute yourself and start with your question.
Good evening, Mr. Imran and Mr. Danish. It's been nice to listening you from last time. So my question is, I'm an Indian chartered accountant and a CP Australia, and I had an experience of somewhere around 8 to 9 years. And I'm looking at an opportunity for like a project work of 4 to 5 months in the Germany or the Netherlands or in any European countries. So is it possible for the companies they can offer me for this kind of job? And if it is possible, then how would I have to apply?
Okay, I would take the question. The taxation accounting system in India is different than in Germany. Okay, there are two ways how you should look at it. One is if you look in some big consulting companies. Okay, this would be one of the chances. Other way around is you need to come here first to, I mean, have the equivalency or similar education at least for 6 months or 1 year to learn the taxation system, accounting system in Germany, because they have a different system. And only then you would be able to, because you have learned and experienced in a different system of accountancy. In Germany, it is different. I don't know what Danish would say about the system in the Netherlands, but for Germany, either you should look at, I mean, international, multinational consulting companies and work for them. This is one option. Other option is you need to come here for higher education, have accountancy equivalency education according to German system, and then look for a job.
I can add here, it's pretty much similar here as well. You have to have a education from the Dutch university, which prepares you for the job market here and also for the specific profile that you are interested. There are also a lot of international consultancy firms which trains you by offering some kind of certifications which you can follow, and then you are trained and qualified to apply for that. So I think it's pretty much similar what Imran is saying. The only advantage here in the Netherlands, it's quite an English-speaking country, so language requirement is not very imperative. So you can come here and also apply for jobs in English, and there is a high possibility there.
Thank you so much for your consulting, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Faisal. I'll now allow Abdul Hafiz to talk. Kindly unmute yourself and go ahead with your question.
Hello, good evening, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for consulting us, sir. Actually, sir, I have around 4 years experience in oil and gas industry, and currently I am working for General Electric in Bangalore. So, actually, sir, is there any opportunity for oil and gas sector in Germany?
Unfortunately, no. First of all, thank you for the question. Germany is
Yeah.
not the producer of oil and gas in that scale, but I would
Okay.
suggest you to look at Eastland and this
Norway
Estonia,
as well.
Iceland,
Norway.
and
Okay.
they, sorry,
And Norway as well, because it is
and
not.
Norway.
Yeah.
Look at these countries because they have huge reserves of gas at least and oil, and there you should explore your opportunity. But
Okay.
again, for all these countries, it is possible to apply for EU Blue Card. Okay.
Okay. Sir, what about
Oh,
Netherlands?
Yes, also for Netherlands. In the Netherlands, there are some gas reserves in the north of the country. Your approach should be to either reach from your company to find an international assignment
Okay.
if it is related. If not, then
Okay.
externally look for
Okay.
Dutch companies like Shell, for example. Royal Shell is one of the companies which is working with oil and gas, and you know
Yeah.
it's a very known name.
Yes. Yes.
If you find
Yeah.
there are also a possibility to do internship there, so you can apply for paid
Yes.
internship. There are also possibilities to
Yes.
have some kind of open day where they do 2 3
Yes.
days of session to invite
Yes.
newcomers and find opportunities there. If you are busy with
Okay.
those kind of procedures, you will get a lead there to find how to
Okay.
apply for position. Once you find a
Okay.
position, the rest are straightforward. You will be sponsored with the EU Blue Card. And
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Jazakallah.
all right. So I'll just allow Taha Hassan to talk. Taha, please unmute yourself and start your question.
Yeah, so thanks for giving me a chance. I just wanted to know how the telecom sector is and what are the possibilities of working in telecom sector and finding the right opportunity, as I have more than 13 years of experience as a telecom IT project management
what,
professional.
what is your qualification?
I'm a telecom, means I did engineering in telecom and I did a MBA as well.
All right. So yes, for telecommunication, of course, Germany and Netherlands and other European countries are also good opportunity. There are like known names like T-Mobile is also here, Vodafone is also here. So like there are possibilities, and they're also expanding. So with
Yeah.
your kind of knowledge and experience, you definitely have a chance. If you are still working at the company, you try to find internally a network connection to bring you here. Also look for
Mhm.
any other assignments where you could come here from your company for a short period of time and then build up your network here. What is more important here is that you should definitely start to build your network in the European environment. Just applying
Okay.
through website is not always a very successful way of getting a job. Try to
Yeah.
find or explore the network within your company who are working outside, or if you get a chance to come over, then try to build up your network here. So that's how it helps. With your profile, you have a good chance.
How about Germany as well?
Yes, also for Germany. I think Imran can say more on that.
Yes, also for Germany. And once again, like Danish mentioned, we have opportunity for like T-Mobile, Vodafone. Now this 5G concept, and I mean there must be huge employment opportunities everywhere in Europe. And important is to understand Germany a bit different than all other countries, but in general in Europe, apart from Netherlands, where I mean English is well accepted everywhere. Important is to make yourself open and spend some or invest some time to learn the language of that particular country, which will increase your chances dramatically. Okay, if you're interested, I told you it is not difficult to look for a job or find a job. It is important to prepare yourself. It is also for all of the participants for today. One aspect is I know that it is not possible to answer or talk to all of you, but we will definitely, the questions that you have mentioned, we will be answering them in follow-up emails. One of the session in coming days, we are preparing to assist those serious people who are now planning to come to Europe. We'll do a closed session to give them individual assistance because we have prepared some tools, even some packages involving how to prepare write your CV, how to look for a job, even to teach you the language part, also assist you for all the bureaucratic documentation. So one of the following session would be a closed session for those who are serious to move to Europe, to Netherlands or to Germany, because we are going to assist them individually to fulfill this all tasks. Okay. So, but in Germany, once again, particularly, please make yourself open. The slide I have shown where the biggest chunk was from India. People came here to apply and get the blue card. Imagine the biggest chunk. These people were open to learn the language. Okay, because without having the language skill, it is difficult to get settled in European country, even if you have a job, because you want to live here, you want to socialize yourself. Yeah, even you are planning to bring your family here who would get settled in this country. That's why please make yourself open and start preparing yourself. It is only the preparation phase where you need to take, courageous step, and you can fulfill your dream to be in Europe, work here, and have an awesome career.
A lot of questions are being asked concerning the age requirement. So we have to make it clear that there is no specific age requirement here. You are eligible to apply at whatever point of time in your life you would like to. You have to keep in mind what are your family situations, whether you can actually come abroad independently, or you can also bring your family together. These are the private decisions, the personal decisions that you have to make. But in general, Europe is open for anyone at any age. If you are willing to come, that's not a problem. Those who have a good experience, good working experiences, they have higher chances of even coming and finding a job. The only constraint is if you come to countries like Germany, France, where language is quite specifically required, then you have to learn the language. If you learn the language, you actually open the doors for different opportunities. So that's why please keep in mind that those of you who are willing to come at any age, there is no age requirement. There is no as such any specific requirement with your work experiences and all. The more you have, it is always better. Only thing is, please try to learn the language on whichever countries you are willing to come. Professions like IT, engineering, medicine, which are very much in demand, there's a high possibility. Professions like management, consulting, these kind of things, you definitely need language skills, because then only you can speak to different local clients, unless you are lucky enough to find an international client. That's a very general overview for people who are asking a lot of questions related to that.
Thank you. So next, I'll allow Syed Nawaz to talk. Please unmute yourself, Syed Nawaz, and go ahead with your question. I see that he's not able to do that. So I'll just take another one. So I'll allow Ankit Sharma to talk. Ankit Sharma, please unmute yourself and start off with your question.
Guys, please be ready to unmute yourself if you have raised your hand.
Correct. So next. I'll allow Ghulam Wasa to talk. Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, good evening, sir. Assalamu alaikum. My question is that, sir, what are the prospects for people from hospitality and travel sector post COVID-19 pandemic in Germany as well as France?
Yes, the situation is little unpredictable, I must say, because we are still in the middle of this pandemic, and we don't know, because you have observed that after March, April 2020, it has hugely affected the tourism industry, even management industry, and aviation industry. So at the moment, it is highly unpredictable. Okay, otherwise Europeans are very fond of tourism, traveling, and there are huge opportunities generally in Europe, not only in Germany, but generally in Europe. And I would say that we should wait and observe the situation and then make a decision.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. So I'll just take one question from Tabish Jamal. He's asking, I'm a civil engineer working in L&T construction in India, having a 5 years of experience. Could you please guide me with the good opportunities in construction field?
I think for civil engineering, Netherlands is a very good place. There are a lot of companies, a lot of engineering programs here uh, who are helping or finding a lot of related jobs for civil engineers. So I think if you focus here, that there is a good possibility. Also because there are a lot of companies who are hiring international professionals. So with your experience in construction industry, there are chances that you can acquire a job here. Again, the approach is that you should look into your network in your company. And also here, if you're interested in European countries, so try to see what kind of what kind of companies are offering the job that you're interested in, and try to build up your network there. Once you have it, see what kind of positions they are offering you. It's also good that you don't have to really aim from the step that you are at the moment, but you can also negotiate at a related position, because once you come here, you can also navigate your path further. So this is a possibility. I would definitely suggest to look into the Dutch market. Also, Germany is possible. However, you need to know the language there. And Denmark and Sweden, they are also the countries where you can apply for construction related jobs.
Like my experience, I want to add up a bit, and particularly in civil engineering and construction field. My experience is that the technologies that we have learned in our home country, even if we have 35 years of experience, these are obsolete already. Yeah, it's my personal experience with talking to the people who are interested to come to Europe. And it is, if I would say, I would recommend you have 5 years of experience, please come here, spend 2 years of time, do your master's degree, and then do you already have experience. So if you have if you do your master's degree in Germany, you would learn the latest technologies and techniques in civil engineering as well as in construction. Because I am not sure from where you have done your graduation, your bachelor's degree, and then gain this 5 years of experience, definitely in your country, wherever you are. But I would recommend you to look for a study option and then settlement option after getting a job. Once you have done your degree program, learned the latest technology. I know that the Netherlands is very advanced in construction. They are doing huge research in new construction material and technologies, and it would be very difficult to adjust yourself or find a place if you have not learned the techniques and the technologies that they according to their standard. Okay, this is my feedback, my experience.
One thing I can add here is that it also helps if you don't have the time to go for a full-fledged master's degree, you can follow a specific training program. There are a lot of certifications that can help you in your field to actually upskill yourself. I can also provide you additional information if you try to reach me out later on after the session. I can also guide you through what kind of training programs are available for civil engineers, for other professions like medical professions and otherwise. So there are also different kind of training programs that can also give you a jump start to start looking for a job and being eligible for a job, rather than going for a proper educational program to save your time. So that's also a possibility.
So next I'll allow Imam Fez to talk. Please kindly unmute yourself, Imam Fez. See, friends, you need to understand that the time really matters, and we are giving you opportunity to talk. Please raise your hands only if you have question to ask. So next, I'll allow Kamal Hussain to talk. Kindly unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening. Kamil here. Basically, I have done the masters in the linguistics. Okay, Arabic and English, Persian. Okay, so currently I'm working as a senior business analyst for banking IT. Okay, Oracle plus Q. So, is there any opportunity to find, in banking sector, there banking, especially IT, which is handling Oracle systems?
Yes, I think for that, I think you need to have a language requirement, first of all, depending on which country you are applying to. Banking jobs require
Any
you.
of the European
Any of the European
in
countries.
banking?
Yeah, in the banking sector, of course, banking, financial management sector, there are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of these days, because of the digital transformation, new ways of banking is being applied. Banking has become very much online. A lot of new technologies has been adopted to improve the banking experiences. So yes, there are possibilities. If you are more of a technical oriented, you could immediately look for the exact profile you are interested in. But if you're interested in more of where the communication skills are required, definitely then you need to have, because I heard you said English as your education background.
Linguistics, yeah.
Linguistics. So that is quite interesting, because if you are good in communication skills, you can definitely apply for banking. And for banking, I forgot to mention Luxembourg. It's a very small country in Europe. It's a hub of banking. So just try to see what are the possibilities in Luxembourg. It's in between Belgium and Germany, and also Netherlands. There are a lot of banking companies here, banks here, and also of course Germany. But in Germany, again, you are required to know the language.
Yeah. So, is there any is there any problem would be there, because I have done the linguistic, but I'm the technical side. So my experience is totally different. But my education, I have done the masters in languages: Arabic, English, and Persian, Urdu. Okay. So is that matters?
I would rather suggest you to look for a job seeker visa to come here first, and then present yourself to the employer or the opportunities wherever you have it. The good options are definitely Luxembourg, also Frankfurt, because it's also becoming, both Luxembourg and Frankfurt are becoming the hub of banking and finance after the or during without and after the Brexit section. So important is to be here and then talk to the people wherever you find an opportunity. But if you would like to apply for a job from your home country, you need to go through this this accreditation of your degree programs, whatever you have done, which does not match your work experience. So it would be difficult. I'm talking about specifically about Germany now. So, but generally look for Luxembourg or Netherlands or Frankfurt, especially because it's the financial hub of Germany. But being here in Germany would give you more or better opportunities to get a job.
One more thing is, like, because your education is more of a linguistic side, you will not get an advantage when there are other applicants with a formal education in banking and management and a specific thing. So to convince yourself among the employers, you have to show that what are the qualifications that you have, which is applicable to the job you are interested in. So definitely formal qualification has a very high weight, but of course you have to convince, and on top of that, if you have work experiences, right kind of certifications, then you have a possibility to go for it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kamil. So next, I'll allow Saddam Hussein to talk. Kindly unmute yourself and start off your question.
Hello. Assalamu sir. Danish sir, Imran sir. Sir, I have one question regarding visa issue. Is there any problem or any discrimination due to name? Because my name is Saddam Hussein, and I also want to some countries and to do job for engineering, because I am pursuing right now I'm pursuing electrical engineering. I want to know about countries where the job is possible for me.
So you are doing you said you are pursuing electrical engineering.
Yes,
What does it mean? You are doing your master's or bachelor's?
bachelor's.
And you're doing from which place? Which
I am doing.
university?
I am pursuing from Alia University, Kolkata.
Okay. I believe that there is no discrimination of anything, not even the name. Okay. And you must be confident. It's important to have proper, improved communication skills. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because whatever country you decide, you just need to fulfill the requirement. If you're coming for education, you need to fulfill the academic requirement. If you're coming for a job, you need to fulfill requirements which are related to your experience, field of study as well. So there is no discrimination for any country. You can apply at the time. Now you are studying, you cannot apply for a job. It is highly unlikely that you would get a job, but you can prepare yourself either for your further education in Europe or first work in India in some company for 1 year, couple of years, at least 6 months, gain some experience, and then move to Europe.
One more thing to add here is that companies here also protect you legally against discrimination. So if there are individual cases of discrimination, you have the right to speak, to get a legal support, just not because of your name, also because of religion, orientation, or any other thing. Most of the companies here are bounded to declare that they are fair to their employer, and European countries are very much strict about it. So if you come here, you have to be rest assured that you will be protected legally by the company. If there are things or malpractices, you can always find legal support for that. So in general, no, not only your name or anyone, or even females who are listening to this session, they should also know that there is no discrimination on their dress code, on their practices, on their belief, and so on. And if you find, and if there are legal ways to counter that.
Thank you so much, sir. And I have also one more question. That can I do job after bachelor degree or not in that European countries after doing 2 or 3 years jobs in UAE countries?
Yes, this is a requirement. If you have some experience, definitely you can apply and for a job, get a job. Getting a job is the procedure of putting yourself on a level that employer is looking for. You need to have the right set of skills which is required by the company. And if you are the one who has this set of skill, you are the one who convinced the employer, definitely you will get a job. In order to get a job or to be on this stage, you need to go through the processes, complete your bachelor degree, gain work experience, and then move to the next stage.
All right. So I'll allow Syed Shah Hussain to talk. Syed Shah Hussain, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, Danish and Imran sir. So I have completed my Bachelor of Engineering degree in Petrochemical Engineering this year only, 2020, and I am freshie. So is there any chances of me for applying in those countries because there is a COVID-19 pandemic? Every companies are not allowing for the freshers. There is no vacancy for the freshers or any experience. I just wanted to
There
know
are
about
two
the
aspects or three
chances
things.
of
First of all,
getting.
we just have given a brief overview about petroleum and gas industry. Secondly, we have explained that it is unlikely to get a job if you don't have a work experience. Okay, and in your stage, there are two options. What we can recommend. First option is start working locally, gain some experience, prepare yourself, and then look for a job in Europe. Second option is one of the previous seminars we did were for higher education, master's degree in Europe. So these are the two options you should look at. So both options are very clear. One, if you're looking to get a job, you should have relevant work experience. Otherwise, please, you can opt for coming to Germany for your further education, which enables you to come to Europe, study here, get a post-study work permit, do internships and get a job. Okay.
So, sir, not about the studying, but if I am try to do my internship in those countries, then I have the chances for getting the job, sir.
You cannot apply and get, it's not easy to get or usual to get apply and get an internship only in European country. Okay. Either you come, because there are different categories of visas, you need to fall under one of these categories, only then you can come. Okay.
All
So
right.
job visa, job seekers visa, freelancers visa, or business entrepreneurship visa.
All right, so I'll allow Mr. Sohail to talk. Mr. Sohail, now you can ask your
Yeah,
question.
I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I've completed my engineering in industrial engineering and management, and I have 6+ of experience in supply chain domain. So I wanted to understand what will be the process of getting a blue card for the Netherlands.
Yeah, so for your case, first of all, you need to find the right employer who is willing to offer you a job. Once you have a job, based on the salary, based on the contract that you get, you can apply for a blue card. In the slide I mentioned, there are certain minimum salary requirement depending on the age. I don't know if you are under 30 or if you're more than that. If you're more than that, there is a salary requirement of 4,600 gross per month. If you get this much of salary from the job that you have got, you are eligible to apply for a blue card. Actually, your company can apply on your behalf for the blue card. Once you are in the process of getting the blue card, you are actually also able to come here. So you can also, you get a kind of 3 months or 6 months visa to come here, and meanwhile your blue card is being processed. So first thing first, you should find a job which pays you this much amount, and that company has also should be recognized by the immigration here. There are a list of companies which are eligible to offer job of that kind. So basically you even fall under, if you are looking for Netherlands, you fall under the knowledge migrant category. For knowledge migrant category, the contract should be even up to 4 months. Even if you get a 4 months of job contract, you are eligible to apply for a knowledge migrant and you can come here. At the same time, you are also eligible for a blue card if you meet the salary requirement. So it's up to you. Once you get a contract, you have to decide which kind of visa you would need, and based on that you can always plan your move. Does that help you understand?
Yeah, but here I wanted to understand from the India, is that possible to apply for the job for the Netherlands directly from here?
Yes, it is possible. It is also a chance thing where you have to really search for. You said you have background in industrial engineering. You have experiences as well. So first try to see in your own network what kind of possibilities that you can find, what is the job profile that you're looking at. And if you can start exploring in the companies in Netherlands related to industrial engineering, try to reach out either through LinkedIn or via your other colleagues network. Once you are in that network, try to discuss what kind of job that you can acquire, and also propose them. Like you say that I have done this, what you just said, I have experience, I have this qualification, I can offer you these kind of things. If there is a link there, if you can build up that kind of connection, you actually open the door. It's a matter of then HR processes to offer you a job contract, and then you can come over. It's of course a matter of chance, but this is the way to go forward.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sohail. So I'll allow Sheikh Mudassir to talk. Kindly ask your question. Mr. Sheikh Mudassir.
You're not audible.
Yeah. So now next I'll allow Mr. Danial Ansari. Danial, you can ask your questions.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, sir, for your session. They are very helpful. So I'm pursuing a BTech in Computer Science Engineering degree from Dr. Bhattu University, Aurangabad, Maharashtra, in India. and
Okay.
I would like to do masters in computer science from Germany.
Okay.
So I've heard that degrees from different university also matter, and the colleges in abroad also have their preferred universities to give admissions. So my question is, do universities matters that much for the admission in masters in computer science in abroad? If yes, then please suggest me some.
So this is actually not the relevant topic for today's, but I will. You need to go maybe go, have a look at our recorded session. I will quickly sum this up. There is no preferred university at all. There is a list of recognized universities. Okay, very simply go and look for ANABIN in Google, through Google. ANABIN, ANIBIN. This is a database of the recognized universities all around the world for Germany. Okay, this website is run by the Higher Education Ministry of Germany. So ANABIN. So it's a database where you will see, or you can find. We have given this link in one of our previous session, which you can look at recorded session. You will see if your university is in this list. It is not the case that some universities are preferred or not. Not at all. Only university must be recognized by the German higher education system. That's all.
All right. So next I'll allow Ms. Yasmin Rizwan to talk. Ms. Yasmin, you can ask your question.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum. I'm Yasmin Rizwan and I have 25 years of work experience. Basically, I'm in MBA Finance, largely work with the investment banking sector, and I've got consulting experience also, and as well as skill development. Currently, last 8 years, I've been running my own consulting firm. So I'm looking to relocate to Germany. What are the prospects for my kind of a diversified profile?
Definitely. Thank you for the question. Definitely, there are two ways to look at it. One is either you can look at business entrepreneurship visa, where you can start your own company here in Germany. Okay.
Right.
And other simplified way is that you definitely look for a job in consulting company or in a banking sector, and then either go for blue card or job seeker visa. Come here, find a job, and then apply for blue card. These are two ways to look at it. Either apply for a job, or we have one of our next sessions we will do is the business entrepreneurship, how to get assistance, what are the steps involved, what are the opportunities. These are the two ways I can tell you that you can do some research on.
So would a job option be better? You think so?
You know, this is your own acceptance. You are working, I mean, as an entrepreneur now. You have your own company. If you will find yourself appropriate again to go for or work as an employee. On the other hand, if you have enough resources to relocate your business in Germany, so you need to compare both of these.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Yasmin. So next I'll allow Mr. Maz Ahmad to talk. Mr. Maz.
Again, unmute, please. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. I would like to ask a question to Danish, sir. Sir, actually, I have an architecture background. I'm an architect by my education. I graduated in 2017 from Jamia University in India, and then I came here to Turkey. Right now, I'm pursuing my master's in urban designing from a state university here in Istanbul, Turkey. Currently, I'm doing my thesis in which I'm exploring applications of artificial intelligence in urban designing and city planning scale. So as you are also from artificial intelligence and data analyst background, I would like to have your advice, like how I can upskill myself so that I can work in applications of artificial intelligence in urban design domain.
Thank you, Maz. Thank you for your question. And also it concerns my profession and my education background, so I can probably guide you through. It's good that you have already moved out of India and now you're already having some experience of living in Turkey, which is very nice and beautiful country.
Yes.
If you're looking to come over to Europe, then especially in Netherlands, architectural design, architectural urban planning, smart cities, these are very hot topics, and there is a lot of things going on. If you look at the university here, Technical University of Delft or Technical University of Eindhoven, they have also programs in architecture and urban designing in combination with AI models, where they can also look for some kind of a digital replica of the actual process, where we call it a digital twin. So you can actually create a whole digital environment of how things can work and so on. That's where a lot of prediction models are being used. Now, if you want to really upskill yourself, so try to get more and more courses related to what you think is relevant in your field, where you can do some kind of data analysis, some kind of prediction modeling, where machine learning can also come into play. And also look at the state of the art AI approaches. AI is basically learning through machines. So if machine can be intelligent to do the same thing, what we have been doing it manually. So all these kind of ideas can be applicable in your case. Try to look for the programs where you could actually, implement your ideas using some sort of training related to AI. If you're interested in jobs here, of course, there are also a lot of companies who are interested in these kind of urban planning, innovative ideas. Uh, I would also suggest you to go for some kind of internship. If you find an internship, reach out to the company, propose your thesis, what you have done so far, and see if there is a possibility there. If you can find something, come over here for 3 to 6 months, learn what is going on, and then it will also give you a lot of ideas.
Okay, so thank you. Thanks a lot for your insights. Thanks a lot.
I would like to add only last point here. I am not sure that it is easy to get a visa for internship from Turkey, but still, for the future, I think the Netherlands is a very good place if you are looking to go for research afterwards. Okay, so this might be the right time now to prepare yourself. I always emphasize on the preparation. Now you can start preparing. Look at different universities, research projects offered by different groups, and then you can accordingly choose a topic of your final thesis, and then have some basis of applying for research in Holland. Okay, this could
Okay, sir.
also be another approach.
I got it, sir. So would you encourage or would you advise me particularly for doing an extra or my second master's either from Germany or Netherlands so that I can,
No, if you
I
have
can
18 years of education and some exposure of, research, you can,
yes.
right after, you can look for a PhD, a research position directly in Germany or Holland or any other European country. You don't have to come for another master's.
Okay, then I can apply for PhD because I'm also into research works, and as I'm pursuing my thesis, so I think it would be feasible for me to apply
Right.
for PhD.
For this, stay tuned. We have our next session coming up, which is research in Europe. So
Okay.
it might be also interesting and
Yeah,
helpful for you.
it will be very relevant for you because their PhD, coming for PhD is also one of the paths that you can choose, because there are also a lot of possibilities. So I think PhD is normally 3 to 4 years of contract. That also gives you a lot of time to kind of integrate here. So those who are interested for PhD, please join our next session on 30th of September.
Yes.
And then stay tuned for that. We will discuss all the possibilities there.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Maz. So I'll allow first Salim to talk. Kindly unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes, please be precise. We have 7 minutes left. So be precise so that we can take 2 or 3 more questions.
All right. So next I'll allow Ruhul Amin Saab to talk. Mr. Ruhul?
Yeah. Hello. Assalamu alaikum, both of you. And thanks for this wonderful session. So actually, I have completed my BTech in electronics and communication, but I have more than 9 years of experience in IT. So can I get a job from India and then immigrate to Germany or Netherlands? And in that case, what should be the steps to follow?
I don't believe that you have. I don't think. Maybe you can confirm. Have you been to this seminar from the very beginning?
No, I just joined today's session.
No, we have given steps, all the steps, the requirements. I would suggest you please look at the recorded session. It will be available right after this webinar. Okay, we have given the steps and how to approach to different type of companies, visas, visa category, and how to prepare yourself.
You're on mute. Kindly unmute yourself if you have further few queries to ask. Mr. Ruhul?
Yeah, instead of further education, I just want to get a job and then want to immigrate. I don't. So
Now, in today's session, we have explained if you have degree and work experience, what are the steps involved. Okay, these are the steps. Please look at our this session, today's recorded session. It will be available right after the webinar is done.
Okay, thank you.
Because we don't want to go into detail again, but we have already explained and discussed.
Okay.
Correct. So next I'll allow Mr. Tabriz to talk. Mr. Tabriz, you may ask your question.
Please unmute yourself.
Mr. Tabriz, kindly ask your question. All right. So next I'll allow Mr. Ibrahim Kitur to talk. Mr. Ibrahim, kindly unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, walaikum assalam.
First of all, I would like to thank Danish sir and Imran sir for your continuous support and valuable guidance. This is really highly appreciable and very helpful to the students and also looking for employment opportunities. Basically, I'm asking this question for my brother-in-law because he is unable to attend the session because of some reasons. The question is, he has completed his Bachelor of Engineering in Industrial Production and Technology, and he has completed his A1 level of German certification. Currently, he's working in MBRDI at Bangalore, Karnataka. So the question is, to come for Germany, for the job opportunities, what are the language requirements? Like whether he needs to get B1 certification. This is the first one. Second one, to start, he's confused like where to start.
Okay, first of all, he should look at our recorded session of today. Okay, now towards the question, the process of applying a job seeker visa, from now on, whenever he would like to start the application, it is important and recommended to go to the next stage of learning German language. If he already has A1 level, he can move to A2 level. And before coming to Germany, at least A2 or B1 level is highly recommended. It would save your time. It would increase your chances of getting a job in Germany, if you're looking at Germany particularly. Okay. So from now on, even one of the next session for those who are very serious and now really looking forward to move to Germany, either through applying for a job or job seeker visa. We are planning another session after our research and PhD session. So maybe they should join this session and seek for further assistance and guidance. Okay, it would be a closed session. We will invite everyone from today's session, but those who would confirm, we will let them in. And we would like to help them step by step how to come to Germany, either through applying for a job or through a job seeker visa.
Okay, so I'll ask Mr. Danish Hashmi to ask his question.
Hi, yeah, thank you so much. I just want to know two things here. What are some common mistakes that you guys have seen applicants make when applying for a blue card or the job seeker visas there? That's the first question. And the second question is, if it would be to Danish, sir, if you might have come across the Salesforce technology, if you can just let me know how hot the market there is for this particular technology. that would be great.
All right. So to answer your second question first, yes, it is a quite hot talk. Hot talk. There are a lot of opportunities in Salesforce indeed, and depending on what your experiences are and what kind of profile you are interested in, definitely if you have some experiences, if you have some upskilled trainings, definitely you have a good opportunity here. I can also add a bit more on your first question concerning the mistakes that people make. Um, I think a lot of work has to be done before you start looking for a job. When you apply for a job, people miss to understand that you're not only applying from job location A to job location B, you're applying from a culture A to culture B without understanding, without having an idea of what is important. I've seen that people have inflated their CV with all sort of experiences and everything which is not necessarily relevant for the job, just because there is a feeling that the more you have in CV, the higher the chances are to acquire a job. This is not the case. I personally have been reviewing CVs, 10 CVs, 20 CVs a day. It takes only 3 to 4 minutes to cancel a CV, just because, okay, depending on what kind of profile people are interested in. But the point is, it is very much important to really structure your CV. In most of the cases, you have to even find a format in which you can apply. In Europe, there are certain formats in which European CVs are made. European CVs are also supported by a motivation letter where you identify who you are, what you have done, and what you would like to do. If you structure your motivation letter in this way, it also helps your chances. So there's a lot of homework that has to be done on the candidate side to understand what they want. Just throwing out, okay, I've been working and with 5 years or 7 years of experience. You have to understand a lot of people who come here with 7 years of experience, they have to do a lot of things from all the way start because technology has changed. Work environment is different. You work with the people with different background, with different motivation. So there is a whole series of things which helps if you can understand beforehand. And the common mistake is, of course, don't just spam with your, many people do is like without looking at the company profile, without looking at the job profile, they just throw their CV with the hope that they would get a response. The rejection rate there is 100%. So make sure you know where you are targeting. Targeting 5 applications per month to a specific company is more successful than 50 applications over a period of time. Think in this way, and that's how it helps. And of course, networking is another part where you need to know people in your own company and who have connections outside. So that's another part. I think Imran can add on top of that.
Yeah, so talking about the connection thing, I've been wondering, what would you recommend? Like, I have, would you recommend reaching out to the people on LinkedIn personally, or what are some ways to, make these connections?
Yes, reaching out personally is a very first step. And of course, when you reach out with your information, with content. Not many people will entertain those kind of unsolicited kind of approach. Definitely do a bit of a research of who is who if you don't know at all. If that person is in your hop of your network, so one hop or two hops, it's easier because he can also see that you are connected somehow. That's always
Yeah.
easier. And then, of course, based on what you want to offer, give a kind of a one paragraph of information. Try to see how either ask him directly or also ask him if he can connect you to the right person. It's also shooting at the moon kind of thing. You can get a chance to get a positive response, but don't be afraid of the rejection or no response. It is always the case.
Absolutely.
Yes,
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I would like to add up and finish this discussion for today. Also, because those who are interested, we are definitely going to do a detailed session. Definitely about mistakes, the steps involved, how we can assist you further to prepare yourself for the European culture, European market, especially the mentality and the way how they perceive things. One of the most common mistake, very simply, you don't prepare yourself. Yeah, you have some information, you just follow the steps and do the things. This is not the way it should be. You should prepare yourself. You should look at different aspect. The biggest mistake I have seen for job seeker visa in Germany, people came here without preparation. People came here without getting to know the culture. People came here without German language. This was the biggest mistake. I can tell you. Okay? But once again, please stay tuned. We will send you, open invitation first of all for that session that we are going to assist you in a close way, by step, how we can, assist you either for looking and getting a job or assisting you for job seeker visa, preparing you, assisting you how to prepare your CV, how to write a cover letter, the communication skills a bit in this community, hunting for a job, and all of these, whatever it involves to get and see you can find a job in Germany.
Perfect. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Danish. So I'll ask Mohammed Nazim to unmute yourself and please ask your question.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I am electrical engineer and I have an experience of 9 years and I worked in India as well as Oman. So, which country is better for electrical engineer in European nation?
It is not which country is better. You are from this industry. We should ask you this question. Okay, which country is better? You are the electrical engineer, but it should not be the other way around. What you can ask me that if there are opportunities of electrical engineering, yes, definitely. Power engineering, distributed system, electrical engineering, somehow related to telematics, telecommunication, IT. And if you have good experience from Oman, you said, and you are one of the suitable candidates. But asking the question, it should be your part to explore which country is better for you, because it's not only the way to look at that which country is better. You need to look at if you would like to go to this country or not. Okay, because maybe the demographics, maybe the culture, maybe the language, these are all the aspects you should also consider before deciding about a particular country.
Actually, I have experience in MEP project. Mostly I have done an MEP project. That's why I'm asking about this.
Okay.
Means infrastructure, commercial building, residential building, and stadium, mosque, and all these things I have done.
Yeah. So if you have work experience in your relevant field, jobs are available everywhere. You need to just look at the specific requirement of this particular country. Okay. And step by step, you need to follow the procedure of applying for the visa or applying for the jobs, getting acceptance, EU blue card. Okay. First stage is we have given you several links in the very beginning of the presentation, which is available to download. There is a link given where to find a job in Europe, generally in Europe, then specifically in the Netherlands, then specifically in Germany. You just need to spend some time, look for a job, look for an opportunity, and then follow the guidelines, how to prepare a CV, which documents are required, what is the timeline, how to present yourself. This is, a general assistance that we are offering. But once again, if you are, really interested for going to further taking the kind of mentorship or assistance for all the steps that are required to be followed, we are offering another session. Please stay tuned and join with us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Perfect. Thank you, Nazim. I'll allow Mr. Ravi Kumar Madhu to talk.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Firstly, it has been a very informative and insightful session. Thank you so much, both of you. Sir, my question is, I'm working as a process technologist for a US-based company, and I have 6 years of professional experience. So my question is, I just would like to know how the EPC industry doing in Europe after this COVID. So if you can put some light on that, it will be great. Thank you.
So a question back to you. How is the industry doing in US? Are you in US or are you in India?
No, sir, I'm in India right now.
Okay. So what is your perception about how the industry is doing after COVID situation?
So in India, the situation is not good actually. because some of the overseas projects have been stalled, and I don't know when it's going to start. So I just want to know how is the market in Europe is doing? Are they opening up, and are the new projects, greenfield projects coming up in the field of oil and gas? I've heard that there are many LNG projects coming up in Europe as well. So I just want to know, like, what is the scenario out there? So are they promoting other is the government interested in promoting this, fossil based projects, greenfield projects? I just wanted to know what is the growth perspective in Europe.
Yeah, so as you see that COVID impact has really made a very high impact here, especially in the job markets. Even though nowadays a lot of industry is kind of coming back to the normalcy, although it's a very slow time, and there is also second wave of COVID here, so things are quite unpredictable. We cannot say with certainty how things will change. However, for the topic that you have mentioned and the experience that you have, especially for renewable energy, if you look at the Scandinavian countries like Norway and Sweden and Denmark, they have a lot of investment going on, and they definitely want to actually expand their possibilities. Even with collaboration with some of the Indian companies, I have seen some of the collaborations in South India from the Danish company, from the company in Denmark, that they want to kind of expand their network and to bring in more resources. So it's very hard to say that the new projects are coming up, but definitely there's a lot of push to kind of create new opportunities. So you have to kind of keep really up to date, look at these countries, look at the companies which are working on the topics that you have mentioned related to energy sector and oil and gas. Oil and gas in general has been quite hit hard in the last, before COVID as well. So I think it really depends. So at the given time, there's a lot of disruptions going on. I think a few months from now, you will get a more clearer picture. But right now, it's a kind of from a better, it's going towards better. Things has been really going down in the past 2 months. But now after October onwards, things will pick up again, and there will be new opportunities coming up.
Also, maybe another aspect to look at is you already have experience in like fossil fuels. Why not looking at upgrading yourself towards alternative energies systems?
Renewable energy, especially.
Renewable energy system, and because this is the future, and you have experience in one field, but it's alternative or renewable energy is also kind of relevant to you. And this should also be considered somehow, because Europe generally is tending towards alternative energies, not only on the fossil fuels. They are planning to shut down their fossil fuel mines and also production units. And mostly they are investing in a way that it should be in the future. It is clean energy. We are moving towards clean energy, not like old or traditional way of using fossil fuels.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ravi. I'll now allow Mr. Firoz Ahmed Bakshi to talk, and very sorry to tell that this will be the last person to talk to us because of the limited time. I'll ask Mr. Firoz Ahmed to kindly unmute yourself and go ahead with your question. Mr. Firoz? Will you take your question, Mr. Firoz?
You are not audible.
I think those of you who have, I see a lot of people are still in the call, over 138. A lot of questions are open. I see 159 questions are there. Even if we take 100 ones which are not answered, please do reach out later on to AMP so that we try to answer as many questions as possible. We are there. If you like to reach us personally, that's also possible. So definitely your questions are most welcome. And if it is not answered in this session because of the time limit, please do approach us again via email or connect to Ms. Humaira so that she can also forward it to us. You guys can also connect with us personally. we can guide you through and also help you for the next steps, not only what we have discussed now, but actually going through the execution plan, how to actually find a job, how to actually find opportunity with respect to education and so on. So there are all sort of questions I see. I mean, it's very much impossible to answer 100 questions in the given time, but we very much appreciate all of you who are here to definitely come again with your question, write it in a more descriptive way so that we understand what your requirements are. And then later on, one-on-one, we try to reach out again to you.
Very true. So thank you, Danish sir and Imran sir, for such an enlightening and interesting session today again. Today's session was on career opportunities in EU countries. It was a wonderful session yet again. Well, so this was our third follow-up session, friends, and in total we had 4 sessions, alhamdulillah. We covered education and career opportunities in EU countries so far. So, and in spite of your extremely busy schedule, to both of the speakers, I would like to say thanks on behalf of EMP. You took out your precious time to come here and spread this knowledge and information, which I'm sure will help all our attendees to have a better educational and professional careers ahead, inshallah. And to all the amazing audience, I would like to say that I highly appreciate your logging in today for today's session. And we were glad to have you all on board with us in our session today. I wish attending our sessions are helping you all in your career paths. At EMP, we are committed to organize such web talk session and follow-up sessions that allows you all to connect, communicate, and learn from our highly experienced speakers, trainers, and career coaches. Well, as it is once said by Sean Hitchcock, a mentor empowers a person to see a possible future and believe it can be obtained. I wish and hope with us your experiences are quite interesting in many, many ways, and you are quite experiencing it in a good way. So we will be uploading today's recorded session on our AMP YouTube channel in a few days, inshallah. I will email all the recorded sessions to you all so that you can watch these learning and guiding sessions if anyone of you have missed it. We will be having a PhD and research in UE session, EU session on 30th September, that is coming week's Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. IST. We will be organizing a few more follow-up sessions for those who are present here, but due to huge traffic and limited time, we couldn't take all the questions. As you can see that we got around 170 questions so far, which are left unanswered. Many of them were answered, and there are around 30 people who have raised their hands to ask the questions. So really sorry that due to the limited time, we couldn't allow all the attendees to speak to our speakers. Well, stay tuned to us, connect to us on our social media platforms so that you all can get all our regular updates on the current activities we are doing. Do not forget to send us your feedbacks. You can email us at info@ampusa.org telling us how do you like this session. Your feedbacks are valuable to us. So if you wish to be a part of AMP and its community work, you can simply log on to www.ampindia.org/joinamp. I'm Humaira. I'm your host. I was your host today. I'm signing off now. Stay home, stay safe, and keep learning. Stay tuned. Take care. Goodbye for now. Good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.